This is Polo Club Metro Bus Shelter, one of the many shelters across just the Plateau State capital. An initiative of Governor Caleb Mutfwang's led administration to alleviate the transportation challenges faced by citizens after the removal of fuel subsidy by the federal government. This is Government House Diary. My name is Pamzi Jaman, your ride for today. Join me on board as we have an amazing personality as guest. We will be looking at government continuous efforts in providing an affordable and accessible transportation system. Come with us.
To the glory of God and the benefit of mankind. In the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Launching the 15 metro buses of different sizes with seat capacity ranging from 40 to 60. Governor Caleb Mutfwang said at the core of the initiative is the zeal to improve the living conditions of the people.
It is more than a transportation project. It is a catalyst for community development. It is expected to generate between 500 to 1,000 job opportunities, fuel economic growth, and foster development across the state. This initiative is about propelling our city into a future of prosperity and advancement. As a matter of fact, I understand that with this commissioning today, we have at least 120 people already employed.
Commissioner of Transportation Davo Gyang, who gave an update of the ongoing intervention on rail and air transportation, said it is a translation of government's vision to reality, as the removal of fuel subsidy has direct impact on transportation.
This noble project is aimed at paying less with no quest to make profits.
Based on research, other means of transportation flying between Jos and Bukuru right now cost between 500 and 700 per trip. And we are offering 200 naira per trip. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Glad to have you, viewer, on our interview segments. Today we have a very important guest, someone who has been trying to see that the policies and programs of this administration comes to fruition. He is a transformative leader whose expertise in corporate governance and leadership is matched by his dedication to human capital development. Currently pursuing a doctorate in business administration, corporate governance, and leadership. He is by name Samuel Jock Gwott, Group Managing Director, Plateau Express Services, and Chairman, Valji Transport Group. Samuel's leadership was instrumental to the launching of the much celebrated Tin City Metro, a fully digitized transport network subsidized by the Plateau State government, with thousands of commuters daily. My name is Pamzi Jaman, and I am your anchor for today. You're welcome to Government House Diary.
Thank you, Pamzi.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to have a conversation. The metro buses are doing remarkably well on the roads. Can you kindly give us the capacity, daily capacity, the fleet sites and the daily routes?
Well, thank you for this opportunity again to share our success story. We have 15 MAN, Lion City A21 seater, about 40 to 60 seater buses. We're grateful to His Excellency Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang, who procured these buses, and he's a man who is very, very passionate about the people of Plateau. He wants to see how he can bring prosperity and comfort to those who are suffering. And these buses came in a very, very good time where the subsidy was removed. And we're grateful that this was a big priority for his administration. And when these buses came, we started with about 3,000, 4,000 passengers. Right now, we move about 8,000 passengers every day. And we have, each bus takes about 70, an average of 70 people, both sitting and standing. And we've sold over 32,000 cards. So passengers buy the cards, commuters buy the cards, and there's no exchange of cash in the buses. And so revenues are collected in a way that there are no leakages. It has proven to be a safe and reliable transport system. You would agree with me that the next issue, apart from hunger, is transportation. Apart from food, I think the next biting issue for commuters in Nigeria is, for citizens in Nigeria, is the matter of transportation. And you will also agree with me that there is no city, there's no proper city that has been in existence for a while that will just depend on keke napep for movement. And so the Tin City Metro bus service came as a new introduction which came to bring back memories of the old Tin City bus service that was introduced during the J.D. Gwott time. In the late 80s, there was a Tin City bus service, and right now we have introduced it as a digitized and improved system that is self-sustaining. And so far so good. We're happy that we're able to cover about 7 routes, and we still are expecting 15 more, and our target is to hit at least 100 in the next few years. And if we can keep increasing in 15 every month, we believe, every year, we believe that we can hit that target. We're mindful of the fact that there are many routes that are still not yet covered. We're also mindful of the fact that there are local governments that are desirous of having this bus service. And we're also mindful of the fact that there are many areas that are still waiting for us. So we thank God that we have at least 20 bus shelters to start with. And so the whole idea is that you shouldn't wait for more than 10 to 15 minutes before you see your bus. And the good thing is that we have a bus tracker, and everybody now can track the bus. You can know how far or how close the bus is to you. And using that, you'll be able to plan your movement. And so it is proven to be something that is affordable, that is safe, air-conditioned bus, and something that uses technology that gives you ease in terms of payment and in terms of, and for us in the back office, it's a very good one that we have data that we can track buses. We can use the statistics to know the routes that give us more revenue, and to know the downtimes and the times where we can reroute buses to other active routes. So it's been an exciting time, and we thank His Excellency Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang for this great empowerment for the people of Plateau.
Well, it's commendable to hear that 8,000 commuters daily. That's commendable. However, passengers still have complaints that the buses are insufficient during peak period. So what is the agency doing to ensure that during peak periods, these buses will be sufficient enough?
So one good thing we've done is that we have increased the timing. Initially, we start from 6:30 in the morning, 6:30 a.m., and we finish our operations, we round up around 5:30, but now we've extended it to 7 p.m. in the evening. So the idea is to also improve the nightlife in Jos. Many businesses would love to still open shop and make more money, but because of the issues of going back home, how they can go back home, the keke napeps, they're restricted, they have a curfew, and many taxis don't move around in the evenings. And so for peak periods, we are very smart about it. There are areas where the buses are not in need in those times, and we route them to the high traffic areas. And like I said, we have 15 metro buses, and we also have 2 coastal buses. And by the grace of God, when we get the additional 15 more, it will be a big relief to commuters. So like I said, our target is to see how commuters wouldn't have to wait for more than 10 to 15 minutes before the next bus comes.
That's commendable. But however, there is another great concern. There is this concern about overloading, and you made mention of the air conditioning working. But so many passengers are complaining that the air conditioning is not working and the buses are so much overloaded. So what are you doing about it?
Thank you for that question. It's very true that we had cases where we had overload, and we are working with our team to ensure, because we have CCTV cameras, and we're supervising them and ensuring that they don't take sympathy beyond and over standards and rules and safety standards. So we have specific numbers for each bus. However, you're faced with situations where sometimes you see commuters stranded and they've been waiting for this bus for a long time. And we've had a few cases where there have been compromise where they had to just take in more than usual. And this is something that we've ensured that they keep to the numbers. And for the air conditioning, we're very aware that the weather, once you take more than your capacity, the place gets too hot. That's one factor. And also, our weather here is a lot more different from how it is in Europe. And so, the more, if the buses are choked up, you will expect the buses to be too hot. And so we are working to ensure that it's only the required number that are taken, both sitting and standing.
Okay, proper maintenance is critical and for reliability and safety. What challenges are you having in terms of maintaining those buses to ensure that there's this reliability?
So with regards to maintenance, I won't say that we have much challenge with regards to that, because we specifically chose this type of vehicle. Everybody knows about MAN. Everybody talks about MAN diesel. It's a popular truck in Nigeria. And so even though we got our spare parts for the first 3 months directly from the manufacturers, we also have a maintenance plan. And part of our technicians were taken to the workshop for training, and we also have an interface with them. And so hopefully we wouldn't have issues. The main key ingredients, the success factor for using for transportation is maintenance. And for us, I think we have a good team of technicians. They understand these vehicles, they understand the technology, and it's the same engine or similar engines that are in use in the trucks that are carrying petrol, and those trucks that are taking heavy duty goods. And so for us, it was a very good choice that we've been able to take something that is user friendly and also our technicians are familiar with. So far so good. We're sticking, we know the number of kilometers before that is required before a service is due. And so these standard operating procedures are things that we are carefully looking at, so that we ensure that these assets, these investments, these properties that belong to Plateau citizens will be utilized and would last much longer. And we are very determined to ensure that this initiative will go beyond this administration and to be something that will be a permanent service here on the Plateau.
Devastating effects of climate change cannot be overemphasized, and the world is changing towards CNG. So what is the agency doing to ensure that we have CNG buses plying the routes?
So CNG buses is definitely an alternative, and at the same time I will say that electric buses is a better alternative. So for electric buses, your operational cost can be reduced by almost 80%. whereas the CNG is a new initiative introduced by this present government. We're still very expectant. We all understand that the CNG has not reached many parts of Nigeria yet. It's more in the south. Even if you go to Abuja right now, you will only see 2 stations. One is at the airport road, another one is at Kubwa. And if you go there, you see a long queue of vehicles waiting for this. And so we are working with the Presidential CNG Initiative. We've sat down with them. We're also working with our parent body, the Ministry of Transport. We're also working with also making suggestions to His Excellency through the office of the SGS. What Plateau State needs is to create a market for CNG. We want to see a government policy for CNG. We want to see vehicles, even the vehicles for the MDAs, being converted to CNG. I believe that once we start that, Plateau Express Services is very determined. We want to be able to set up our CNG plant and a conversion center. So this will be able to attract other businesses, other private oil and gas operators to also invest in the business. So once there's a demand for it, I'm sure it will pick up. So for CNG, it is not a reality yet. However, it's something we're anticipating for, and so we're exploring different options of financing. We are a limited liability company, and we have opportunities to liaise with the Bank of Industry, Bank of Infrastructure. We're trying to operate this, even though it's a social program, but we're trying to see how we can approach it as a business so that it can be self-sustaining. So by the grace of God, we're very optimistic that in the near future, once CNG is available in Plateau State, the cost can also perhaps even be reduced significantly, or we can start making more revenue from the buses.
Actually, setting up your own plant will ease the transportation challenges for many. You made mention of private partnership. How is Plateau Express being funded? And is there any partnership with any private individuals or companies?
Oh yeah, so we understand that Plateau Express Services has been repositioned as a group, and the most active business part of our subsidiary is the Plateau Riders, which is very, very popular. Plateau Riders Limited is the one for the interstate services. And for Plateau Riders, we have people that have invested their vehicles. And if you check the vehicles, you will see some that are labeled LV and some that are labeled CV. So CV stands for company vehicles and LV stands for lease vehicles. And what we've done is that we put a hold to that business. It's just recently that we've opened it up. The reason is that we needed to clean the system. We needed to put things in order. We needed to block the revenue leaks. If you have a fantastic strategy and the people, the team you have is weak, your implementation will be very weak as well. And so we've been doing a lot of house cleaning, and we've been able to digitize the system. People can book online for some of the routes. And we also have a logistics company that is registered as a subsidiary now, and that will guarantee the longevity of our vehicles, because once there's no overloading, we can guarantee that our buses will last longer. And so these are a few things we've been doing, restructuring the business. So yes, Plateau Express Services has shares, and we hope that in the near future, we would like to have other people come to buy our shares. But as you know, the company has been neglected for a long time. We were one of the best, and we got awards in the 80s for the best transport company in Nigeria. And there were so many companies that were trying to copy us, and most companies in the north were coming to learn from Plateau Riders.
Okay.
And so we hope to gain back that glory and also supersede the past glory of being the best and most preferred transport company here in Nigeria.
Okay, we are approaching the Yuletide. Are there any incentives for commuters?
Yes, what we've done recently is to add to our vehicles. If you observe what had happened before, we had so many broken down vehicles when we resumed office last year. By 3rd of August, when we resumed, the whole place was littered with vehicles that were abandoned, that were not good. And what we've done is that we've auctioned quite a number of them. And for those that could be refurbished, we've refurbished about 20 units of Hummer buses. We have also gotten 20 units of Sienna. We've gotten 4 coaster buses, in addition to 2 vans for the logistics company. And we've also just 2 days ago, we commissioned 6 additional vehicles for the Jos to Abuja route. Initially, you would notice that people don't want to even travel with plateau riders because of the bad image. Many vehicles, immediately you enter, you notice that our vehicles are breaking down very, very often. But right now, those cases of broken down vehicles is minimized and almost not a news again.
I hope you are thinking of going to other local government areas, not concentrating only to Abuja and Makurdi.
Oh yes. So, as a manager, you will understand that it's a work in progress. You have to keep your goals. You have short-term goals, medium-term, long-term goals, and you also have your milestones. So we can't take everything all together. However, I can assure Plateau citizens that we are also considering the different local governments, connecting different local governments for passenger movement and for logistics. And in this Yuletide season, we're so touched on one of my inspection visits to the metro office, the terminal, day before yesterday. We met a lady, Miss Deborah Elias. She came to buy 50 tickets for 50 commuters, and it was her mom's birthday, and so she just wanted to celebrate her mom's birthday. And with 10,000, she was able to touch the lives of 50 commuters that day. And it was a very, very good thing that we encouraged, that Plateau citizens and other well-wishers, that it doesn't take much to touch lives. You can top up people's cards. Now we have Metro cards, and these cards they do not expire. Once you buy them, they're yours, and people have these cards. Like I said, we have over 32,000 cards, and people are still rushing for these cards.
Wow.
So in this Yuletide season, where it's a season of love, season of giving, we would encourage well-wishers that if you feel you don't know what to do to affect the lives of people, you can come to our office, and I bet you that that if you can pay for someone's transport fare, it will go a very, very long way.
Wow, for Deborah, that's a laudable efforts, and well done, Deborah. How are you doing for your public engagement? How do you get feedbacks? How do you engage the public to know how they feel for better services?
Yes, so before we came in, there was no form of communication. It was just a particular number. And right now we have a social media outlook. We have channels on X, on Facebook, on Instagram. We have emails, and people can tag us, and we respond quickly. We have
there are villagers that don't even have those social media handles.
Oh yes. So what we've done differently is that we have stickers in every vehicle, and those stickers have phone numbers, and those phone numbers are active. And so during the journey, our customer service as well, they call at least 2 passengers in every car that is traveling around Nigeria to find out how their trip is going. This wasn't there. In fact, before, how do you even get to complain? But right now, people can go to Facebook, people can use other channels and lay their complaints, and we can even investigate and respond.
Time is against us. Just give us 30 seconds your parting words.
So my parting words is that I would like Plateau citizens to respect these buses. We have bus stop signs. These bus stop signs are where these buses park and pick passengers, and we would like Plateau citizens to respect it by not parking their vehicles there. We would like you to support this by also respecting the traffic laws, because our metro buses are operating side by side. We also thank the traders in the terminus area and other places that they've agreed to shift their market for our metro buses to operate. So finally, I would like to say that please, we should pray for our governor for more wisdom and for for more funding to come to our state so that we can add more buses.
Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to have an insightful conversation.
Pleasure is mine.
Viewer, that's the much we can take on these segments of interview. Please stay back and watch the rest of our activities. Thank you very much. I'm Pamzi Jamal.
Hello everybody, Sanugu. My name is Samuel Gwott. I'm the GM Plateau Express. I just came to inspect to check what's going on, and I hope everybody is okay. Any comments or anything?
Yes. Just air conditioner ventilation.
All right, more ventilation.
Just give somebody.
Working on it.
One driver that took us yesterday, the way he drive yesterday, our heart is going to come out. In fact, we have to. You were in the car yesterday with us.
Did you pick the number of the bus?
I own
010, right? Yeah. We have numbers on the Metro cards. You can call those numbers. You can go to our Facebook page and send us a message to our messenger, and we'll respond immediately. So we love feedback so that we can keep improving on the system. So thank you for that feedback, and we'll investigate. And I assure you that more buses are coming.
Amen.
Yes. So please keep praying for our governor.
After an intensive interaction with the general manager in his office, he took a tour to the terminus bus station to have a feel of how passengers feel about the bus services, how to improve on the services for the betterment of citizens. Behind me is the queue of people waiting for the bus. This is an indication showing that the bus is widely accepted. This is an indication that more needs to be done. And this is a wrap on this edition of Government House Diary. My name is Pamzi Jamal. See you next time.